Chairman, we are live.
Okay, welcome everybody in the audience and online. Today is Monday, July 17th. This is our weekly county commissioner meeting. At this time, I would please ask everyone to rise and follow me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda. I don't think there was any additions or changes. I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Moved in second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We'll get right into our agenda. These are all action items. The first one up is the meeting minutes of July 10th. Everybody get a chance to look at those.
Yep.
Did you get my correction, Doug?
Mr. Chairman, I did not.
It was under your presentation. There was a motion by, I think it was Sherry, and then there was a second, but it didn't list the commissioner's name.
Okay, my apologies.
So I'll make a motion, we approve the meeting minutes of July 10th as amended.
Second.
Moved in second, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next agenda item is an action item. This is to appoint Commissioner Sherry Maupin as Valley County's designee to vote at the National Association of Counties Convention. Is this something new, or you just don't have this
So-
authority automatically?
We don't. We have to actually be elected. There's a form to fill out. Doug, do you have that form? Let me grab the form really quick.
I didn't have
It's
that.
so that anything that comes up as a resolution, one of us can actually vote on. I've never voted on anything because I never had the authority before, but they did state that it's,
We never had to do this with Gordon or anybody else. Well, maybe that was WIR, maybe that's a different deal.
Is that the NACO convention?
it
down there?
is, yeah.
Yeah, that's in Washington, right?
This one's in Austin. That's where I'm
I
headed
think
this
if,
week.
you show up, you should be able to vote.
Yeah,
I would think.
Yeah.
it said it had to actually be appointed.
I make a motion that we appoint Commissioner Sherry Maupin as our representative to the NACO Association of Counties Convention.
I'll second. Any more discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I'll abstain.
So you want to wait till you find that form?
Find the letter. Let's see if I sent it along with that request, but,
I think it's in the packet, Commissioners, but I will.
oh, I think it is too. Now that you say that, let me look really quick.
Well, there's a part in there about the public lands deal, but I don't see the letter.
I don't see the letter either. Let me see if I sent it to Abby when I requested that.
Oh, that's not it.
Nope, I don't see it, Doug. The one on Durham Lane.
Workshop.
Primary voting delegate, okay.
Find it?
Letter of support for Pale Lakes.
Your primary voting delegate. It has to be turned in. I think it's by
Today
tonight.
at 5 o'clock.
Ooh, internet's slow today. I have it, so I'll pull it up here and print it.
Okay, then we'll move on down. Our next agenda item is an action item. This is a letter of support for the Pale Lakes Water and Sewer Liner repair project. And,
That one is in our packet. I just saw
yep,
it.
Mm-hmm.
this is a pretty short, simple letter of support for McCall's sewer liner repair.
And I did update the letter, so that one hopefully we have. We have
Commissioner
that one.
Maupin,
So we're not
I have
putting money toward it, we're just giving them a letter of support. So
Correct. They're applying for a grant with DEQ that will fully do that. Come on.
That's a pretty good sized dollar bill to fix that liner.
It is too.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve this letter.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter of support for Payette Lakes Water and Sewer Repair Project.
A second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I motion carry, and we all three sign this.
Come on.
So we'll move on down to our next agenda item. This is not an action item. This is a presentation from the city of Cascade regarding pathways improvement
No.
in front of Valley County Courthouse and parking lot. Mayor Judy Nasula. You're not ready? Yep,
I just
Okay.
remembered,
Say it.
what Doug was referring to, and there was a specific thing, so anyway.
You want us to come up front?
Well, sure.
Okay.
My name's Judith Nasula, and Mayor of the City of Cascade, and I didn't get you guys invited to the public meeting where we were gonna go over this project, so I wanted you to see what the plan is. I apologize, I did have this electronically, but, alrighty, let's get our bearings. Courthouse, Grandma's parking lot, Uncle Tom's, Juanita's, county parking lot, okay? So, howdies. Okay, so this is a Safe Routes to School project. It's slated in for about 393,000 of LPAC money. So what's going to happen is this sidewalk that starts here at the corner of Pine and 55, it's going to be replaced. And then here, it's going to be completely redone as well. We're going for a 5-foot sidewalk. This property that the county owns, they're going to lock it up like Juanita did hers. And then it's going to go to the corner of Patterson. We were going to continue here with the sidewalk, put a rapid flashing beacon here, and then throw pedestrians' lives into their own hands to get across Lake Cascade Parkway.
Throw 'em under the bus.
Yes, and we talked about putting an island here. Well, when we re-looked at this again and again and again, we have decided that we are going to, well, I believe we're still going to put this in, but we're going to put the crossing here, the rapid flashing beacon here.
When you say rapid flashing beacon, it's gonna be over the highway or
No,
just
it's
on the
going to
side?
be on the side, but it's one of those ones you can push the button.
Hmm.
And then it'll
Allows
flash.
you to cross. Is there gonna be one
There
here too?
instead of here.
What's
Their one is going to go here and here.
Down there at the parking lot on those.
It was all, when this project was first designed, you have to keep in mind, this was part of the mobility project, which was a plan that was put in place in 2016, 2000, I get my bearings, 2006, sorry. But it's all still very relevant in the whole plan. Geothermal is gonna, piping is gonna go in here
Really?
and along here. So when we get that project going, how does this affect the county? Well, it affects the county because for Elton and I, who remember that there was a service station here many years ago. So these two cut curbs were for the service station. ITD would prefer to for safety's sakes and for parking, additional parking along here, is to take out those cut curbs. How does the county feel about that?
And not replace it with just one? They want us to use this only for entrance?
That is their preferred choice, preferred fix. You don't have to decide like today, because the project doesn't start till May.
I think I'd take this one out too, Judy.
Got one there too.
Yeah.
That one comes out. These two come out.
And so the parking, then they would have this entrance here.
Yes, I don't think there's a problem with that.
I'm just sitting here thinking about the number of vehicles that leave and come at the exact same time every day. Because we're so close to this, I mean, you get 2, 3 cars backed up, you can't get onto the street. And as this community continues to grow and the impact of the traffic there, and it's hard to turn left sometimes. So you may stack cars way deep, but at the same time, you got somebody fighting to turn left here and here. But the only advantage down here is you got a turn lane to turn into, and here you do not. So
Well, what I like too about this is a lot more parking along here.
it does,
You know,
and
there's
it's
pluses
hard,
and
if there's
minuses.
somebody, parked right there, it's a problem. What about putting one down here on this lot? And, we basically need to make this all one lot anyway. Cause you gotta do it now instead of later if
So
you're gonna
this
put a
is-
cut in.
This is our property.
It goes
Comes there that way.
Yeah. And this is all snow storage.
This is, but in the summertime, we use it, so,
But we could expand that into more parking, that'd be easy.
right. So, and we've talked about taking
We
a
have-
couple of these trees down anyway, but this might be, what's the bank look like there? I mean,
Well,
I
it
think
would-
that's
it-
a higher
It's a
bank.
big high bank.
It's a big high
Yeah,
bank, which
so I
would
don't know.
require, because there's old steps leading up to the house
Right,
that was there.
right.
It would require, like I said, that the blocks, the barriers that Juanita put up here would be
Okay.
what put
So
there
that really
as
isn't a
well.
good option then, maybe leaving one, I don't know.
There's an issue with people that have trailers, like boats or campers. There's no place for them to park other than along the sidewalk. Certainly no room in here. I've seen trailers parked here in the past. Big long loads that,
There was a big one this morning, parked right there, but there's lots of room right there.
And it is what it is, but most of all this is really in the ITD right of way, but, they're gonna, it's been like that for a long
Yeah.
time, they're not gonna push back and reclaim it.
the other thing you should know is we're gonna work, hopefully in the next year or two, we'll replace this chunk of concrete going into this door over here. 'Cause it's all cracked and coming apart.
Well,
We
and.
talked about doing away with that exit, but.
And it might, excuse me, it might be something that at the time we go to design that we can, and we pick the contractor, that maybe you can put it
Put it
in as a
all in one.
companion project. The city is gonna look into doing a companion project. We're either gonna look to doing, instead of this part here, utilizing that money and putting, and doing the sidewalk from here to at least here with the goal of going further.
Where does the bus pick up? Here? So
Or-
this,
Right here, yeah.
this here.
Yeah, yeah.
This- Oh, this is Dollar Store.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, that's dollar store, so it's way over here.
So it's
Good,
not-
yeah, see, it's hard to keep your bearings
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
We will be in the next couple of weeks be putting in a solar street light here to light up this crosswalk. It has always scared me at night, especially at night when it's raining. But in the event that as we grow and what needs to happen, we're trying to do what makes sense at the time, knowing that we always have a lot of hindsight with these.
Does Steve want
projects.
this one back in here?
I have to talk to Steve because he really doesn't own this anymore. This
No.
is Renee's. And he may want it for delivery. It, obviously, right now, it's being a great extra parking lot for people. But,
Is Renee a local?
Renee, no, he's, Al's Meat, the Al's Meat guy. Last name.
When's he gonna build,
And then just just to clarify, in case you don't know or why it is like that, but when Dollar Store built ITD, said that there would not be a left turn in. That is why these arrows are pointing this direction. And so people are in essence making an illegal turn when they're headed south and they turn here. That is why this street, the entry to Dollar Store, unless you're northbound, is to, you go down Pine Street and then there's that back street. That's where you're supposed to go. And that's why when people, I don't know why they don't paint arrows pointing the other way. Well, it's because that's not really how it's supposed to be.
Well, is this a
Unless it's me.
dedicated turn lane though?
Yeah, but it's a dedicated
Security
turn lane,
alarm
but this
somewhere.
is, this is, left turn only.
Interesting.
It
So,
depends on left turn only, depending on which direction you're coming.
I would ask ITD about keeping that, because, you know, you cannot turn out here. I turn into that left turn lane all the time. to go home.
they did say, I will fully disclose, they did say, if you really, 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 really want it, they'll put that one in.
I would want that. I mean, as we turn north, I just feel like, you know, we don't have any ability to turn north from here.
So that'll
And
leave,
even our sheriff's department.
they could park from here to here in this area if they
Mhm.
go long loads, because long loads are the problem. This is all disabled here, so.
Oh, yeah, long load is a problem attested to by the poor little fire hydrant down here.
You guys have
It
the
got
same
wiped
issue,
out.
but
Upside down, that's the problem.
they wanna take these two entrances out. So we're requesting we keep this one so that we actually have a left turn lane that we can
If
pull
we
into.
ever decided to come in and pave this and make this more parking lot, that would be the central location for it.
I could see not having two, but one would be good. I don't think we want to give up all our access to Main Street.
Well, and coming from here, I mean, it's really difficult to turn left because you don't have a turn lane there. There's not a turn lane right either, but
We
it's
also
much easier to
need-
get out.
We need to come in and put a sidewalk along here.
Agreed. But if we stack 2 or 3 vehicles, it's gonna be difficult. If you guys ever had to get out, I just feel like we need to.
Just turn on their lights and go.
Nobody
We're
even
all
pays
trying to
any
get out of the
attention to
way.
those things anymore.
Okay.
That really helps.
Is it all about me? Nope, it's not. I'm okay.
You see these cars now with these blue lights on their headlights.
Yeah, the tint.
Yeah, I mean, they're blue light for sure. I thought that was illegal for cars.
It has to be a true blue, not a
It
hue.
looks pretty
You
stinking
took
blue to
us-
me.
You totally
Let's
took
talk
a
a minute.
squirrel.
This is gonna get turned
Holy cow.
into long-term rentals, is that correct? This hotel?
Okay, I just wanted you to.
Just this. So
I
do
don't
you-
know what the plan is for this. I have seen the plans for that.
I don't know what's more important, to put this chunk over here or leave it here. for-
Well, we might go with this, but I feel
I
pretty
agree, two's
strongly
too many, especially
about,
the one right here. That's too close to
because
it.
we have the
We keep
lot
that
funds,
door
we could
looking.
do that with that
So
now.
that sidewalk would come right through.
Taking Main Street away. It's too
I don't know if
important, and
it'll
you'll never get
extend to
around it.
this.
Exactly.
We'd be looking at either a companion project that's self-funded,
Thanks, sir.
or doing a change order on original plan.
It'd be nice to bring it all the way down like that. Here, 'cause both sides. really make-
That's the goal, eventually go both ends of town with a sidewalk.
And I mean, reality, I don't know how, you know, how things ever get done. In my mind, this should have went clear across from there, but, you know, I wasn't around then, so.
That's a good point, I never noticed that before.
And the other thing is you go through town that you might just give an eye to, generally speaking, if not always, the power poles, when you see row power poles going down the streets, that's where the right of way is. So when people have put their lawns out there and their cars out there and whatnot, and that's one of the, where these little lines are, you know, this is city right of way, which may cause this plan to change significantly. Because wherever we can reasonably reclaim our right of way, we're gonna be reclaiming our right of way.
Looks like storage units. Needs more storage.
Used to be the truck stop.
Been there forever.
Lot before that. So anyway, so that
We
is
want
that.
that
So
one.
I will tell them that. And then I am also going to send you guys an email. We got comments back on our concept paper for the geothermal. So we have some really great comments, favorable comments, plus ones that we need to shore up. And so there's a couple of things that when I send the concept comments to you, that I'll need, that I'll ask if the commissioners are.
Do you need a support letter or anything like that?
Well, we may, but excuse me, and Leslie's working with Mackenzie.
Okay.
Mackenzie, is that, no, it's not Mackenzie's name, Mackenzie?
The PR?
No, the other one.
The Grand
Central
Rapids?
Mountain.
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Lindsay Harris.
She's working with Lindsay because they have some definite questions about job creation and the economic benefit to that. And so part of that, as well as how strong of a support letter we can get from the county, the rec district, and those. So anyway, thank you for your time. I will pass those comments.
Judy, you said this is gonna start when, in May of next year?
May of next year is the target date is the scheduled target date. But you know, there's never a good time to do construction up here in May. Maybe they'll get done before Memorial Day. I always hope, right? So,
All right, well, thank you for coming in and
you bet. Thank
Phone
you.
us
And
in.
you guys have a great day, and I'll go along my little merry way.
all right. We're a little early, but we're going to keep right on going here. Our next agenda item is an action item. This is the approval of the contract with Summit Food Services for fiscal '24. Mike, come on up. This is a little bump from last year, but I believe it's probably because we have more inmates, huh?
No, that's just price increase.
Just inflation?
Eggs.
It is.
The price of eggs.
Eggs and milk.
So they buy all the groceries and do all that too?
Yes, that's correct. Through Cisco.
That's a big load off for you guys, isn't it?
It is.
I was gonna look, you said right now we had around 46, so that's,
Today we're at 40. By hopefully tomorrow we'll be at 46. So that's kind of our goal in the jail, is to keep us right around that 46 mark. And just depends on time frame. Like 4th of July, we had a lot more county inmates, so we got to kind of be careful about that. But trying to keep our state numbers at about 40 is getting us at about that 46 to 50 mark. So
state compared to county is what you're talking about.
correct. The state inmates are what help recover some of the costs for our budget.
Mike, on page 6, they have a breakdown of the rate per meals, and I'm kind of confused because it says the rate shall not include charges for medical meals, religious meals, supplements, equipment purchase, or repairs. But then it goes on down and says all those meals are going to be at the same rate as an inmate meal.
Correct.
So it's like, why would you even have those on there if they're the same rate as a regular meal?
I can't specify, but I think it's just if we needed additional equipment for some of that stuff. Like some of the kosher meals have to be prepped separately from
Oh,
general population meals.
but they're still going to bill it at the same rate.
They're going to bill it at the same
Yeah.
rate. It's just if it requires some sort of upkeep or specialized equipment, that falls on the jail to provide.
So you have to, with people with allergies and all that, you have to deal with all those also with the meals.
That's correct.
The other question I had was on opening charges,
Get my
C,
email to work.
on page 7. I don't know what those are, but included but are not limited to managers' relocation expenses, travel costs associated with initial opening, and charges associated with initial training. So this, if they hire someone new, we have to pay for that expense? Is that how that works?
Typically, it's getting them trained through with a Summit, contractor that has to travel, say, from Blaine County, or it's not common, but
We know how much that charge is?
no.
That's kind of wide open there, but you're saying it's not too common, maybe it's not an issue.
That happened.
Brooke's been here, I don't know what, probably about 3 years. So that's pretty good. There's no, horizon for her looking elsewhere.
Looking elsewhere.
Again, I can't say that's not a guarantee, but what we have found with Summit is they do a really good job. Like if she needs a vacation or something, they find an already working manager that will come in, pick up a couple of days, or Brent, he's kind of the traveler. So, but again, that's not a cost to us. It's just
Part of their business,
Yeah.
part of their contract.
Yeah.
So is she a local, but she works for them?
correct.
I see.
Well, I think this has taken a big load off of jail staff and off you guys. It was a worry years ago when we didn't have this contract. Who's gonna go cook lunch for the inmates? And
Well, the food portion is huge on jail standards. And so to get the caloric intake needed and all the stuff that we are required to make sure of under jail standards to be able to keep the state inmates as well, this is huge because it
Yeah.
puts the onus on them to make
Well, it
sure the
should be
caloric
certified.
intake's right. I mean, obviously it comes under us to check, to trust but verify.
Yeah.
But the nice thing on this is this is what they do. This is in their wheelhouse. So it kind of keeps us to where under our contracts with the state as well, it makes sure that
Great.
we're good on
Great.
caloric intake and everything.
And then other things with Summit, it's not on here, but we are looking at ways to try to reduce this cost for us in the county by possibly RFPing commissary through them. That'll help reduce some of the food contract costs. So that's something we're looking at. And then some other potential small money makers down the road, but we're not there yet. It'll also help provide the Summit employees, part-time employees, which we're having a very difficult time finding, more hours that they can help work at the jail. So this isn't the last you'll see of anything Summit related, but we're working
You were
on
talking earlier
those.
about an addendum, is that what?
Yes,
that's-
yes.
Okay, so we'll just kind of take that one when it comes in and see where it goes on that,
Yep.
as far as part-time. Okay, if you're all good with this, I'm gonna go ahead and make the motion that we approve the contract with Summit Food Services for fiscal year 2024.
No second.
Moved in second. Any more discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
May I bring this up to
Yep,
get
yep,
signed?
come on up.
Thank you.
No, you may not. You're always such
I'm
a
not gonna
gentleman.
tell him no, you tell him no, I'm not telling him no. Yep. And today is. Yeah.
If you ever need a signature, just come
And
on
once
over.
that gets signed by Summit, if you could just make sure our office gets a copy of it, and then we'll save it for record retention purposes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have nothing now until 10 o'clock. So at this time, we're gonna go mute and we'll see everyone back here at 10.